Hello and welcome to Lesson 3 of Unit 1, Concept 1. As a reminder, you should be completing your guided notes as we watch this video. So, today's objective. Scholars will write expressions to model real-world situations. That's what we're doing today. As a reminder, I highlighted the words that you should be adding to the objective on your guided notes. Let's talk about this. How can expressions match real-world scenarios or situations? So equations can be used to model the world. Let's look at this first scenario. I am packing textbooks that weigh 2.4 pounds each into crates that weigh 3.7 pounds. I can create an expression to represent the weight of each crate, no matter how many books there are. So, if I look at this expression, I see this 3.7, this constant. That is a constant, and it represents what? The weight of the crate that I'm putting them into. And then I have this here. I have my x. What does my variable represent? Well, that is the number of textbooks. That's what my variable represents. And finally, what does the 2.4 represent? It is a coefficient because we are going to be multiplying it with the number of textbooks. The coefficient represents the amount each textbook weighs. So we see how this models, and of course this shouldn't be equations, it should be expressions. This models this situation. I'm packing textbooks that weigh 2.4 pounds each into crates that weigh 3.7 pounds. Okay? So let's look at this next one. Which scenario matches? Which scenario matches this expression? So let's look at this expression first. First of all, I have a constant value of 4.3. So whatever it is, it's going to need to be a constant value. And then I have this 18 times my x. So 18 is a factor. It's something we're going to be multiplying. So knowing that, let's look at these. A, I sell shirts for $4.30 each. Customers pay $18 for shipping. The next one tells us buy one backpack for $18 and notebooks that cost $4.30 each. C, I buy new charging cords for my cell phone that cost $18 each and pay $4.30 for shipping. And finally, D, I pay $18 each month for my cell phone and pay an additional $4.30 per gigabyte of data that I use. So, let's think about this. Which one of these has a constant value of 4.3? Well, I can rule out A, because 4.3 is not a constant value, it's per something. I do the same thing here. 4.3 is not a constant value, it is per something. Now let's look at C and D. C, new charging cords for my cell phone cost $18 each, so that's definitely something where I have 18 as a factor. And then $4.30 for shipping. So that's something that's a flat rate, constant rate. So that's a possibility. Let me circle that for now. And then let's look at D. $18 each month for my cell phone. And then I pay $4.30 per gigabyte. Well, this is definitely not constant. The amount of gigs I use is not constant. So I know that the correct answer must be C. Does that make sense? That's how I look at these. Let's look at one more. So let's talk about how we need to identify our variables, okay? We have to state what our variables represent. So let's look at this problem here, and I do have a typo in it, so I'm going to very quickly forget this each. That each shouldn't be there. Oops, go over with black. Yep, that each should not be there. So I buy some oranges for 50 cents each and some apples for $30. I have a coupon for 10% off my purchase. So how do we do this? First of all, I'm going to use the variable x to equal the number of oranges I'm buying. So I'm going to do 0.5x. Now I need to put the apples I bought for $30. So plus 30. I bought a lot of apples, obviously. And I have a coupon for 10% off my purchases. So how am I going to do that? Well, if I normally I'd pay 100%, right? And I'm going to subtract 10%. What does that give me? I'm left with 90%. So I'm going to pay 90%. So 90% as a decimal is 0.9. So all I'm going to do is take this part and multiply it by 0.9. That will give me the amount I pay. I could also write it as 0.5x plus 30 minus 0.1 times 0.5x plus 30. In this case, I see my original cost here and my discount 10% there. Either way is correct. So let's look at two more expressions very quickly, and we're going to definitely explain what our variables are. So I buy a few pencils for 5 cents each. So my variable there is going to be pencils are going to be P. And I buy a few notebooks. So for notebooks, I'm going to use N. So I write my expression. It's going to be 0.05p plus 0.5n. So that'll be my total cost for the notebooks and the pencils. One more. I buy 5 heads of... undo that one. Forgot I was there. So I buy 5 heads of lettuce, and I have a coupon for $2 off my total purchase. So I'm going to have the variable, we use the variable T for lettuce, number of heads of lettuce. So, sorry, the cost of the lettuce. I lied. T is the cost of the lettuce. Because I don't have a bought. So T is the cost of the lettuce, sorry. Per head. So I'm going to have 5, because I bought 5, times the cost of the lettuce. It would help if I used the variable I said I was going to. 5T. And then $2 off, so tell me I'm going to do minus 2. This will give me my total cost, 5T minus 2. Any questions? Let me know.